All right, we are live. We're gonna give everybody a chance. We are a few seconds early, so we'll give everybody a
Okay.
chance to hop in with us and join in on our conversation. I'm so excited to
Yes.
talk with you, Sabrina,
This is
about
gonna
the
be fun.
industry and about what we do. Uh,
Yes.
so it should be fun. Um, Let me switch over so I can see the chat, the comments. All right, and so, hey everybody, it's Bailey, and I'm back with another episode of Chatting with Bailey. I feel like I need like some intro music or
Right.
something. I need
Sing a
like
little
some
song.
music come in. I need somebody to sing it for me. But we are back tonight with another episode of Chatting with Bailey. So the reason why I decided to do Chatting with Bailey was because I was scheduled this year to do at least five live events, and everything got canceled.
Yeah.
So I said, I'll just let everybody see my face anyway, and have some cool conversations with some people that I admire, some of my contemporaries. And so tonight we are lucky to have Miss Sabrina Scales joining us. Sabrina is an amazing author, and back at the inception of Bailey's Coterie, we did a chat on one of her books. What book? What's the book with the stripper? That was the husband.
Bodies. Stone
Yeah,
bodies.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the one and the wife was pregnant and the
Yes.
okay,
Yes.
yeah. We did a chat. We did a chat on that. So she's one of my like first chats that I
Ooh, that's
did
a
in my group.
throwback.
But and it seemed like it was so long ago, but it's not
Right.
really that long ago,
Right.
But man, how we have grown in our ability to tell stories and
Absolutely.
to capture an audience. But that was a good book though, and
Thank
I
you.
sure do appreciate you being here with me. Um, so let's get into it. Let's get into it. Hey everybody. I can't see everybody's name, but hey Monique. Hey everybody. So thank you guys for joining us tonight. So Sabrina, tell me what made you start writing? Why did you pick up a pen?
Um, I've been drawn to words since I was a little kid. I was always writing poems and stuff like that as a kid. So it was just instinct to me. It just came naturally. But I didn't take it seriously as an author until around 2016 after I published my first book, just to say I could do it. And somebody reviewed it and I was like checking to make sure it wasn't my mama, because I didn't
Right,
think anybody would be interested in a story that I wrote, but
right.
it kind of took off. I think my first reviewer was Carolyn Jackson.
Oh
And
wow.
yeah, I can remember being very shocked. And she found me on Facebook, inboxed me and everything, and it kind of spiraled from there. I was like, okay,
Hmm.
maybe this is something I can do. I can
Yeah.
actually seriously do this.
Right. Hey Mimi. So I was just thinking about something. So do you remember when we did um behind the pen back in what what was that 18?
I think it was 2018.
And y'all got lost. We was trying to find y'all so we could all meet
Girl,
up. What
oh,
happened? Y'all was like in a
oh,
cab or something, and then the
listen.
cab got lost. What
That
happened?
so much went wrong that weekend. I missed my flight. I had to fly out, and everything was a mess. But um I don't know, we just got lost. Like, we were trying to rush because I had my niece and my sister with me, and my niece is a young lady, beating her face and all that. So that put us behind time wise, and then that weekend was just a bad memory. The event
I
was
remember
the
that was
event was the best
crazy.
thing about, but everything else was a mess. And I still owe you something. Still owe that group of people, you, Chinthia. I owe all of y'all the biggest apology because yeah, it was bad.
We was waiting like on the other side of the Brooklyn Bridge, like where
Oh,
are they? Where did they go? That was so crazy. We walked like, did
oh
we meet
man.
y'all on the bridge or did we end up meeting
Yes,
y'all in
yes,
okay.
yeah.
And then we went to Manhattan and had a drink at that bar.
Okay. Yeah, we
You
did.
remember that? The
Yeah,
shot,
we did.
yeah, for what's his name birthday. So yeah. So that was a good evening.
Yeah, it turned
That's
out good.
and then y'all went that next day to like to like a pretty expensive restaurant, right? Did
Yeah,
you where'd you
it,
have dinner this?
I'm trying to remember. It was like a pizzeria, but it was a popular pizzeria. Like we had to wait in a super long line. I'm terrible with remembering the names of places that I've only been once, but Chinsia had looked up this place. They was like, you gotta have pizza here. You know, Chinsia is pretty good with stuff like that. You know, she's a knowledgeable person when it comes to most things. And so we had some kind of, it was supposed to be the most amazing pizza in the world. It's all right.
Was it?
It's all right. But yeah, it was all in all, it was a really fun trip. But if I had to do it again, I would definitely get to the freaking airport on time so other things could flow the way they were supposed to.
Right, because the
Yeah,
airport in New York ain't no joke
it's
anyway.
not.
You know, and then arriving late or leaving late, you can't play with the airport there.
And the
Yeah, that was
subways,
the
and
worst.
you just have to be on it when you go to
You
NY.
do, you do, you do. All
Yeah,
right, so you started writing, and then you said you published your first book just because you wanted to
just to
keep it
say
real.
I could. Yeah, just
Wow. And so why
yeah.
did you continue to write then?
Well, I love it. I love it.
Hmm.
And I would do it for free. I did not expect for this to be a profitable situation. I just love to write. I mean, I don't do anything better than I write. It's my favorite
Hmm.
thing in the world to do is just make up stories. I love it. I love it.
Hmm.
Absolutely love
Just make up stories for books, or you just make up stories.
it. Well, you know, I don't just be making up stuff in conversations, but yeah, I love the art of storytelling. I do.
Hmm. And do you think that you would ever want to do it full time? Because I know you have a job that you
Yeah,
do. So do you think you'd ever want to do it full time?
absolutely.
Mm.
Absolutely. I wish I could, but you know, I got a few more levels. I got to level up, you know, start taking things more seriously as far as marketing and stuff like that. I got to I'm going to have to, you know, get with some people that can help me get to the next level because I have what it takes. I just don't have you know, knowledge of marketing and you know what it ultimately takes to make this a full-time career.
Yeah, yeah. That's the thing about self publishing. I appreciate the ability to self publish, but you are a one man band. You know,
Absolutely.
you have to do everything. And if it wasn't for the amazing readers and authors that we have sharing our work and
Yes,
word of mouth and sharing our posts and stuff like that, I mean, it would be even harder. So it really does
yes,
become a community job to push each other to get to the next level. But like somebody just said, you definitely have what it takes,
I appreciate
to
that.
do that. So what do you do? So you talked about having getting with people and trying to do the marketing and stuff like that. But what do you do now to stay relevant? Like it's so many of us.
Ooh,
It's so
yes,
many of us, and there's new ones coming every day. I mean, real
every
new.
day. Yes.
So what do you think makes your voice stand out, or what do you do to stay relevant?
And I saw that question. I knew that question was coming, but I didn't. I don't think it's intentional, but I'm just myself. Like even when I'm not writing books, I feel like I've always had the ability to get along with people, like to make people laugh, and just being Sabrina, I feel like is enough to keep me relevant. I'm the only one. There's nobody else
Mm.
like me. Some people think that's a good thing. Some people think that's a bad thing, but I can attribute that to my staying relevant. I just it's just being yourself. We
Mm,
all, there's so many of us, but all of us are bringing something different to the table. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be our
yeah.
personality or our book content. So I think that's very helpful. And to not try
Hmm.
so hard, because I'm really not trying to stay relevant. I'm just being myself, and just so happens that people appreciate that.
Yeah. Yep. And it's true. Your gift can make room for you.
Yes,
As long as you stay in your lane and do your gift. And not try to
absolutely.
do everybody else's gift. And that's the same principle that I live by. So how do you keep yourself, or do you ever struggle with um measuring your success by other people's success?
No, I've there's no aspect in my life that I've ever compared what I have to anybody else. And I think if a lot more people did that, they would see so much more growth in themselves. Like I was telling my husband the other day, like people, we made a purchase recently, and people will have the nerve to ask you how much you spent on something or how much you pay for something. And I'm like, I'm almost 40 years old, and it's got to a point where I don't bite my tongue no more. And so I asked the person, if you count my money, who count yours? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's so
Mhm.
much easier to just be you and do what you have to do for you. When I see other people winning, that's a win for all of us. If they bring in something positive to the table, that's a win for all of us. So
Mhm.
that doesn't negate what I'm bringing, and I can only keep counting me. I got too much going on. I can be
Right.
proud of you and cheer you on, but there's no competition
Right.
because it's my lane and I'm the only one in it.
Definitely. I agree with that. And I like the way that we have the group of our community
Yes.
within our smaller community, within the larger community, really can cheer each other on and work well with each
Yes.
other to get to a common goal. And when you do something well, like you said, we all do, congratulations. I think,
Yeah.
though, that sometimes people that are on the outside looking in don't see that.
Right.
And I think that sometimes the conflict, if there's any conflict within the circle, comes from without the circle.
Ab-
Comes from the people on the outside looking in and trying to
Absolutely.
pit people against people and stuff like
Yes.
that, when it's not necessary, because everybody's story is unique and everybody's voice is unique. So it's
Exactly.
important to stay who you are. That's a really, really, really good point, and it's a good point for people who are trying to uh, write a book or do become a self-published author or a traditionally published author. You really have
Right.
to stay authentic to who you are.
Yes.
You just have to,
Yes.
because if you start trying to write erotica and you a virgin, don't
Yeah. It's
write
not. It's
erotica.
not gonna be. Ain't nobody gonna believe you. Ain't nobody
It's
gonna
not.
believe you, sis.
Ain't nobody gonna believe it, sis. So cut it out. Because you have
Exactly.
no experience. It's like me. I grew up in suburbs, right? I mean, my family came from the city, but I grew up in the suburbs. So for me to really try to write a urban book where I'm talking about like people getting shot and all
Yeah.
that, like,
You're gonna use the
sis,
wrong slang. It ain't.
correct, correct. Like your daddy was a preacher. Go sit down.
Like Bailey line.
Right, right. You write about what and stay in your lane. So, all right.
Exactly.
So when I started writing, and I finally told people that I was going to write a book, because it took me a minute to actually call myself an author. But when I started telling people that I was writing a book, one of the first reactions that I got from my family, because of course I told my family first, was, "Who are you writing about? Who is this story about? Who life
Hmm.
you talking about?"
Yeah.
Um, and I think a lot of that misconception comes from Best Man, because he was stupid enough to write
Yeah.
their whole life story in a book.
Tay
Like, you
Diggs
really
that messed
ruined
it
it
up
for
for
us, sir.
everybody.
Yeah, like some of us are actually creative and just come up with characters. But
Exactly.
so, what was one of your struggles with your family or your friends when you first decided to start writing?
Well, I first just told my mom. I didn't really make a big announcement. I don't think I still haven't made a big announcement to my family because they know me. Like what you see in these books, that's Sabrina be talking like that in real life. Everybody knows it. I don't have no filter. But um, my mom read the first book I wrote, Lena, and there was a sex scene in it, and she like I had printed it out and put it in a binder for her. Girl, she slammed that binder closed. She was like, "This what you writing?" I'm like, "Mama, what did you think?" She was like, "I thought poetry like you used to do in school." I'm like, "Mama, I've had a lot of sex since then, like a lot. I got 2 kids." And she's like, "Sabrina." She was just kind of freaking out. But my family, honestly, I don't really have I've never really sat down with my family other than of course my husband, but aunts and cousins and stuff like that, I've given them books, but I've never really sat down and asked them what they thought because
Hmm.
I'm just being myself in the book, so they shouldn't be surprised by the content. They've been supportive for the most part, but it wasn't
Hmm.
really a big deal.
Hmm.
And that's
Yeah, I
unfortunate. Now that I said it out loud, that's unfortunate. It was not really a big deal to most of my family.
because it was already in you, so it's not
Yeah,
like it was a surprise. I
yeah,
mean, you just found an avenue to release the creativity that you had, so it's not a
yeah.
surprise. I was asked because I saw an author that had posted on Facebook. And I got a lot of Facebook friends that I don't really know who they are, but she
Same.
she or he, I don't know who it was, said something like, I'm just gonna stop trying to get my family, or like your family is not gonna be the one to support you. So I'm not gonna, sell my books to my family. I'm just gonna find other people to support me. And
Yeah.
it was funny because we really are not writing our books for our families.
No.
You're not writing a book because if your family not reading prior to you, 9 times out of 10 they gonna not read
Exactly.
after you. You
Yeah. So
know,
don't be offended. It's
right?
okay.
If I was talking to a lady that's trying to write a book, and I said, I'm just going to give you a heads up that if you think that your family is going to be the ones that's really turning your through your books and reading them, because she was concerned about putting something in there about her mom or her
Hmm.
sister or something, and I was like, you probably don't have to worry about that because they may not read it.
Right.
Oh no, my family going, okay,
Now you can
it's
think that
probably
if you
not.
want to.
Right. It's probably
Yeah.
not gonna happen. It's probably not gonna happen. So I saw that you had some books coming. So tell me about what you got coming up.
It's actually just one book. It's a collection of shorts. The first it's called Quarantined. It's three short stories. Two of them I published on Book in Maine. They were like exclusives for Book in Maine. And
Mhm.
since I've been in a drought here lately, I figured I could just add like a third to those shorts and make it into a book, something that people could sit down and read on their Kindle. Some people might not have read it yet,
Mhm.
but yeah, it's just basically three different couples going through three different situations during the quarantine. They wind up getting it on because that's what we do in quarantine when ain't no kids at
Is
the
that what
house.
you was doing?
Yeah, when ain't
I
when the
said it's
kids
gonna be
when the
so many
kids sleep.
quarantine babies, right? Oh, so
we
many
ain't we ain't producing no quarantine babies, but
Quarantisha and Corona Lisa and oh fuck, it's gonna be
ain't none of
so
those
many
coming
of
out
them.
of this address. Promise. Promise.
All right, so Shalice had a question. What was the process to get Jacoby Dim, is that how you pronounce his last name, and
Yeah.
Wesley Siobhan to narrate Naughty and Nasty?
Okay, so I'm so glad somebody asked a audible question. The um the process is, first of all, they approached me and asked if I would be willing to, have them, produce an audible story for them. And I was like, yes, because that means y'all will pay me and I ain't got to come up off that money because Wesley and Jacoby are expensive, I've heard. But when going through contracts with Audible, you have to specify in your contract that you want to choose the narrators. And it's a bit of a learning curve. I didn't know that at first. I got lucky with Jacoby and Wesley, but then when Plus came out, I let them choose, and that's all I have to say about that. But when you do contracts, you there's certain things you have to specify. You specify if you want them to do the cover or if you want your original cover, who you want to do the audible. There's a lot, but I was able to choose them, as part of my contract. So yeah, that was a good look because they are super duper talented. They do the voices. They do an amazing job. I listened to that story. I've listened to it probably 3 times, and still, yeah, they're pretty dope.
Cool, cool. What what made you decide to go the audiobook route?
I'm a part of a few reading groups where questions are posed. Whether readers I'm sorry, I'm losing all my words. Whether readers prefer to read the books, in paperback or Kindle or Audible. And a lot of people are moving towards audio because you can listen to it while you're driving. It just frees your hands up to do other stuff while you're listening to stories. So I was like, okay, let me look into this. And yeah, it did pretty well. I'm excited to have more stories coming out. It's been really good for me and for the readers. It's been a really good addition to my library.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a friend that's in this that's watching this that just told me, "Oh no, you're going to do audio." I'm like,
You should.
"Okay."
It's
I
so
will.
much
I'm gonna get
fun to hear
to
somebody reading the words that you wrote. It's so
it.
much
Yeah.
fun.
Now,
It
do you
is.
go back and reread your own books?
Sometimes some of them I can't because some of them have some emotional elements that I don't remember until I get to them. I'm like, damn, I wrote that, and that's why people be in my inbox crying. But yeah, certain stories I visit, like I just went and reread a few chapters of Petals just because it had been a while, just trying to get the juices flowing because I've been in a drought. And I'm always reading Naughty and Nasty because Seth and Fallon was something else.
Hmm.
Certain parts of it I'm like, did I write that? Because you kind of, you black out sometimes when you get the writing. Sometimes you black out. I'm like, dang, okay, that's they
Hmm.
talking about. But yeah, I
Hmm.
definitely revisit some of them.
I have a hard time going back and reading, but I did start rereading Blues Beauty,
Yeah.
and I I was reading and I was like, Jesus, why was so much happening? Like,
Oh.
your mama and daddy did. Jesus Christ. Like, looking
Oh.
back, it was just so traumatic. Like,
Yeah.
where was I? But but
Exactly.
when you writing it, it's the characters that's telling the story, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was
It's an
like,
out of
wow,
body experience.
know how y'all got through this. I was like, I gotta put this down. This is a
I'm for real. In there weeping like you didn't write. You wrote it. What you crying for?
you straight up forget that stuff
Yes,
happened. Like, cause you just,
absolutely.
you, and then once those characters are done, you move on, and
Yes.
you keep creating. So sometimes the readers know more about your characters than you can
Oh,
remember.
definitely.
Cause
Oh,
once you write
definitely.
them, then that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. So all right, so let's talk a little bit about what's going on in the news. So I saw you had posted a little statement the other day about some young skeet that just really took me
did
down.
I did I
Cause
do it? I didn't write
no,
that,
you know you
baby.
wrote it. You know you wrote it. I said, no, she didn't. But I kind of understand because
Oh,
so we talking about Jada Pinkett and Will Smith,
oh
and before
God.
everybody get all up in arms about ain't our business, it's out there. So it's a
Yes,
great
it
talking
is.
point. It just really is. Not that we have any necessarily judgment to pass, but
Right.
y'all gave it to us,
Right.
so we're gonna talk
Exactly.
about it.
I want us to do.
It wasn't leaked. Like all the parties have
It was,
now spoken about what was going on.
yes, it was at the red table.
She should have brought herself to the red table and wasn't. But in my opinion, she really wasn't ready to come to the red table.
At
Like
all.
because you can't even articulate honestly what you did. You want to talk about
Exactly.
an entanglement, girl?
Exactly. Just call it what it was. Just call it
Hey,
what it was, Jada.
he was a young man. He had 100% back strength. You know what I'm saying? Like based on the
Sherman,
pictures.
Sherman, Sherman.
He had stamina, you know what I'm saying? So just
Yes.
say what it was straight up. Like then we
Call
can
it what it
respect
was.
you more, as much
Exactly.
as we're going to respect you for the choices that you made. But when you, in my opinion, when you talk about this kid came to me broken and I'm gonna
Exactly.
heal him,
That's the part right there that
yeah,
that's the part right there that because like seriously, if we're gonna take mental illness seriously, then that whole situation is jacked up. If we taking this seriously like we say we are, and like Jada says she is on every red table talk she ever has, then they should not have been laughing in that interview. There was nothing
mm-mm,
funny about that if we taking mental illness seriously.
nope,
and and not even that, like flip the script. What if this was one of Willow's homegirls that came into their home 23, 24 years old, and Will did the same thing? We would not be having the same conversation right now. Yeah,
mm-mm,
he was an
mm-mm,
adult, but a broken one. And
mm-hmm,
come
mm-hmm.
on now. Come
Mm-hmm.
on
Little
now. Let's
banana peel. Y'all, y'all showing out there. But yes,
girl, look at who said that.
Who
Girl, is that a private?
said
You need to type your name, girl.
that? Like Portia, who said
Oh, dear God, who is that? Let me look on my phone because I'm looking on my computer screen. They wilding out on your page, baby. Let me find out. Jada said he was 22. Absolutely. At
Yeah,
22,
he was.
that boy was in love with that woman and she wasn't even thinking about being in love. She was having a good time. And that was
Girl,
it.
because she was over 40. I know you talked about that you were about to be 40,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
I have hit 40 and passed it. And I'm
Yeah.
telling you, as a woman, and y'all out there that's turned 40 can say, your mind changed.
Yes.
And you start seeking out your own satisfaction.
Absolutely.
So she was definitely just looking to
Yeah.
be satisfied. She wasn't trying to be in a relationship with that kid.
She was
And
a
the thing is,
predator. She was
yeah,
a predator.
we are calculated. Like we know how to get what we want. We
Absolutely.
think through things. That wasn't no oops, I slipped on a banana peel and
No,
fell on your
no,
neck type situation.
not a
That was
banana peel either. A
no, no.
plantain. God forgive me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Look at Josh out there spilling the beans on people. Who Josh? That you
She
said it.
said it was done. Done. You
uh,
nasty.
you just said it. And then
Oh,
like Jada had said that they did that whole little corny thing at the end talking about we ride together, we die
yeah,
together, bad marriage for life. Like that's
yeah.
not even cute to me.
And it wasn't funny. I
No, it's
mean,
not.
if when you sit back and think about it, like they are committed to this no matter what happens. And some stuff should not be happening, bro. Like seriously, it just
Yeah.
shouldn't be happening.
No. No.
Yeah, it's we can all laugh and everything, but that's a damn shame. It's what that was.
It
Poor
is. And
August.
black folks, we can find humor in anything,
Cause we
but
we have to.
we have to laugh it off. We have to. But in the
Yeah.
bigger scheme of things, like I felt, first of all, I could not watch his interview
Oh
because he
man.
made me uncomfortable. So
Who?
I
Oh,
can just say
August.
that. August, yeah, I just couldn't. And then at first I wasn't gonna watch Will and Jada, but then they said only 12 minutes. So I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and see what they said. But it was some people that was riding hard for Jada, like Jada ain't
Yeah.
lying.
Yeah.
Jay ain't say that. They was
Why she
all
gonna
on
do that?
everybody's still like,
Oh, I wanted to talk to them one by one. Say what now? What
right.
you say? We done messed
And
with
then
that little
one,
boy.
yeah, and I see a lot of people saying, he was grown. He knew fully well a 22-year-old man
Mm,
has nothing mentally on a 40-plus-year-old woman.
exactly. It was not a fair fight. He
We would think circles
brought
around
a
you,
knife
sir.
to. He brought a penis to a gunfight.
Like, exactly,
It was not fair.
exactly. Somebody said his hair was.
Oh no! I don't know. Y'all get it together. I got it.
I'm back.
Thank you. I was like,
Yeah,
please
I'm back.
don't leave me for more than
Right, you had to start doing some songs or something. But somebody said his hair was uncomfortable. Yeah,
girl.
that was a hard
I
interview.
actually liked his hair. I like two-toned hair, Keisha Cole looking hair. I like that.
I think it was a mistake. I think
Damn.
it was a mistake. I'm serious.
He
It
had
was.
on a
It was.
suit that was half plaid and half wool too. I didn't see that until after the interview. That's how much I was paying attention to what he was saying. I didn't even realize his suit was two different colors.
Yeah.
It was a mess.
Those tea cakes are the bomb.com. I was in Los Angeles circling your table, but thanks to God, I received 2 dozen. Like, 2 dozen? I didn't know you were
Yes,
sending out about a dozen.
she got that
God.
order. She got hooked up on that order. We ain't doing that again till 2K21. So I
I
hope
know that.
you
I
stay.
know that was a lot of bacon. Ugh.
Ooh, girl. I don't
Mm-mm.
know what be getting into me when I finally break down and tell these people I'm gonna get them some tea cakes, but I'll be paying
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah, girl. Don't do that.
Mm-mm.
Don't do that. People was calling it the hurt woman hair. That's terrible. It,
Oh,
it was
when she
bad.
made love, that's about right. Bless his heart. I
It
love
was bad. But one of the things that really irked me though with that whole bad marriage for life thing is that there are really some of us out here that are working hard to not only write about great black love, but
yeah,
then demonstrate great black love.
yeah,
So for y'all to be fist pumping and all of that stuff about a bad marriage, now get your life right. That don't even
exactly.
make sense. That
Because all
don't.
of this stuff is within their control. It's not like you doing like it's a disease. You can stop doing what you're doing. It
Yeah,
ain't easy, but you can stop or don't be together. That's I don't
yeah.
understand.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, and our marriages had their stuff, but
yeah,
y'all marriage was on TV. So I
all
mean on
of
the internet,
it.
all of it. So did you hear about Hakeem from Empire got arrested?
Oh God, Bailey, did you see his mug shot?
Did you see his
Oh,
mugshot?
I was like, that's not the same man. That's not him. That's
That's
terrible.
it
That is
is.
terrible.
Yeah. So for those of y'all that didn't hear, Hakeem, what's his real name from Empire? I can't think his name right now.
I don't
Y'all tell
know.
me in the comments. But he was arrested for domestic violence against his wife. So apparently he had like been beating her down the whole day or something like that.
My
And
God.
she got out and flagged down somebody and they called the police. The police went to his house. It was a whole standoff before the police
Oh
was able to take him in and arrest him. And they charged him with like 3 things. I don't
my.
remember what the 3 things were. One of them, of course, was assault because apparently he beat her up pretty bad.
Yeah.
And I just feel sorry. It goes back to the thing that I said the last time I was live and I was talking with Jada and Marseille, is that sometimes when these kids get into Hollywood so early,
Hmm.
it don't ever seem like it turned out right.
Yeah.
You know?
Think I don't know where he came from. I don't know what his familial background was, but I think that when like even with NFL stars and NBA stars and these athletes that come from places that are underprivileged, I think they need to offer them counseling to transition from one class of life to another because that's a lot. Like if you think
Girl,
about it, their money is good, but that's a lifestyle change, and everybody ain't ready for that. That stuff can
Mm-mm.
go to your head and change the way you do everything and the way you treat people and all that. I think
Mm-hmm.
they need to incorporate some type of transitioning program,
They
make it
do.
mandatory.
They do, because you just think about it. You go from nothing to something. That's a
Yeah.
huge life shift. But then also for him, I was thinking somebody said he was high. But
Oh,
also I'm thinking that you had a consistent job for the past what 6 7 years
yeah,
on that show, and now that show was over. Thank
yeah.
God. But the show was over. Girl, I'm like, what else can y'all do?
They had five too many
Jeez.
seasons because I
They
stopped watching season one. God forgive me.
had five too many seasons and 5 plus 13 extra episodes. Too much. Like the first episode should have been just a short series of someone went about their business. Like it just
Woo,
went crazy.
my God.
But to have that consistent money coming and then now know that nothing is coming,
Yeah,
probably also lends to that as well. But
yeah,
Empire it was tired. It just didn't do a whole lot for me. I watched it for the
yeah.
most part, but I do that with a lot of black shows. Just watch because
Hanging
they're
in
black.
there.
I just be supporting.
Somebody
I
got
just be.
somebody got.
Somebody said they never watched it. I mean, you didn't miss anything necessarily. You just
You,
missed a whole bunch of bad
yeah,
acting, bad
it
stuff
started
happening.
off with a boom and never lived up to that first season again. I was like, damn, not another one.
Yeah. Do
Yeah.
you remember how bad that hit when Hakeem was acting though? When he looked in the camera on
Girl,
like
did
the first
he?
episode, he was like, "I'm gonna take that
Oh,
empire." It was so bad. I was like,
go back and watch. That's so
"Yes, girl." He did the whole takeaway. I'm gonna take his empire. I was like, boy, if you do not get your little corny face out of this camera, it was terrible. And
shit.
then it was just so stupid because so then it's this situation with Jesse Smollett. What? Okay, what
Man,
happened? Whatever happened with that? Did he get in trouble? Did he not get in trouble? He
girl,
was a black Tupac. When he said when them guys jumped, he's like, y'all. I was like the gay Tupac. I was like the gay Tupac. I was like gay Tupac.
what? What does that
What?
even mean? What is
What does that mean? Because Tupac got shot. I don't remember Tupac
you
doing a whole
know?
bunch of defending himself.
I don't remember nothing about Tupac that even closely resembled what Juicy Smouye did. Oh, he needs to sit down somewhere.
Yeah, yeah. That was bad. The whole thing was bad. So speaking of TV, what else? What shows do you watch?
I'm ashamed because I could have been being productive in writing a full novel, but I just spent the last week catching up on Chicago, The Shy, and
Mm.
oh, it's so good. I didn't realize it was so good, but I just finished the last episode of season three, and season three just I'm like, what is this? It's like random stuff just got thrown into the storyline. Like
Mhm.
what? Where did
You
all this come from?
random stuff constantly gets thrown into the storyline. Like, is this
Yeah,
season 4 now? Or so you is this season 4 that's on now?
I think so. Three or
Yeah,
four. And I'm like,
yeah,
what? What? Who is that?
yeah. It's
Bobby.
not gonna stop. It's not gonna
I
stop.
don't want to give no spoilers, but I was sitting there confused when the first episode came on. I was like, what?
We already spoiled it. If anybody that didn't watch it,
Oh,
we spoiled it last time we was talking about. We told all
good,
the stuff that
good.
happened,
So that's
so they ain't see it. I'm sorry, y'all. We about to spoil it, but I was like, Where did that mama get the wife from? What?
yeah, yes. And what happened
Where
to
did
Brandon? What happened to Brandon?
Chicago got him?
I
You
mean,
have you
they
seen?
ain't gonna do no backstory. They just gonna kill my boy. I was like at the funeral, like, damn, this must be little dude brother. In a big ass
Yeah.
picture of Brandon, it broke my heart. They messing with
Mhm.
my emotions. I can't. I don't even
Yeah,
want to
they
watch
had to
it no
fire
more.
him.
I love Brandon. I don't even want to watch it no more. He was
Have
my
you seen The Hangover when they were talking about Bangkok's got him? Have you ever seen The Hangover?
I have
And
never.
like they respond to everything with Bangkok's got them. But I was thinking about, I was also in Chicago got them. Like there is no explanation. Chicago just got them. Like
Yeah,
he just
that sucks. That really sucks. And then
somebody said they called up the other day. Oh, that's Jada. They called up the other day, and the start of the new season is good. Yeah, I mean it's a whole new show.
good
so
how
it's a
to start a new series. That's not the same show. I don't even know.
yeah, it's a whole new show.
Freaking Luke James, is that his name? The dude that played Johnny Gill,
Yep.
his
I
fine self, but still, like what? The
yeah. Is he gay in real life?
huh?
Is he gay in real life?
I think he kind of metro. I think he might go for it. I think he might go for
Oh.
it. He got, he got that swag. He might walk through either closet.
Clean off other window
Tranny
sills,
baby
huh?
for lap dance. I know they acting, but
Cause girl, so I was watching. I'm like, that's a boy.
that is
I was like,
definitely
well,
a
maybe
boy.
he just has a feminine, I mean, a masculine face. And
Mm,
I was like, oh no,
that's
that's a boy.
a real boy.
That's a whole. He's a real boy.
Yeah.
Like he's a
Before I
whole real
started
boy.
watching the show, one of my Facebook friends had posted that the guy, the brother that got killed, the drug dealer brother that got killed, was refusing to play a role in a relationship with a man. And that's why he left the show. I don't know if this is true. I didn't research it because I didn't know anything about the show at the time, but they said that's why he left, and they still found a way to incorporate homosexuality into the storyline, which is, that's life. Like,
It is.
there's homosexual people in the world. Whether you not want to see them on TV, this is what it is. But
Yeah.
yeah, they
He
said that.
actually came out and said that wasn't true. He said that he didn't leave the show because of them trying to get him to do a trans scene. He was never supposed to be a permanent character, but because the audience liked him so much, they kept him on.
Okay.
And then he said something like, "Maybe I'm not dead," but nah, they said you was dead.
Yeah,
But however,
but
they
they
said the older brother was dead too, and he back.
see what I'm saying? They killed him, and here he go. So we'll see. Because I like all the characters from the original. I really like Brandon though, and I really think they messed him over. I was hoping he was in witness protection or something like that, but they
Now, Brandy got fired because he sexually harassed some of the ladies on the set, to include the girl that was his girlfriend. That's why she quit.
did he?
Uh huh.
Oh no! Why?
Yeah. I
Why they
don't know.
always gotta be stupid?
Which
God.
rounds back out to what you were saying. Like, if you come into a hunk of money or into some type of level of prestige or whatever, you need to get some counseling.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you need to be sat down and say, these are the rules of engagement so that you can maintain what you have, because now he ain't got nothing. And because of why he got fired and in the age of Me Too, he ain't
yeah.
getting another job.
Ain't nobody gonna deal with that, and they
Nope.
should. They shouldn't deal with it.
Nope. They shouldn't. They shouldn't have to. So what else you watch?
Um, I try to take them one at a time. I watched that, and there was something before that I was binging. Oh God, what's the name of it? I May Destroy You. I think that's what it's called.
Oh, how was that? Because
It's
I haven't.
different. It's very different, but I liked it. And I think this is only their first season. It was like 5 episodes, but it's really different. It handles um sexual assault and drug abuse and stuff like that. The good stuff. Um,
That was the girl with the like wide face.
yeah,
That's from
yeah.
like
He has
Britain
a
with the
very
purple pink
handsome
wig
face,
or something. Yes,
and
she has
it's
them.
good. I like British TV. I just like the accents for some reason. I love
I hate it.
talk. Dang, Bailey.
I because I can't
Tell us how
understand
you
what
really
they
feel about
saying.
it.
I cannot understand. If I can't understand it, then that means I have to watch you. And sometimes I just want to be doing other stuff. So if I have to watch it, and I don't know what you're saying, all
I
that.
understand. I think I could survive in the BK. I love hearing British people talk because it's so, I don't know. I don't even know why I like it, but I do. Because it's so fast. It's like It's like music to me. I like it. I just some people
Hmm.
like French. I like British accents.
So you know that they say the food over there is not good.
Well, I could imagine it wouldn't be.
Yeah, they don't put no seasoning on it.
They probably brush through the food like they rush through words. I'm not. I don't want any British food.
So if okay, so this is a good question. If you could pick one of your books, and somebody came to you today and said, "I want to make one of your books into a movie," what book would it be, and who would be the leading actor and actress?
Now, Bailey, you didn't give me these as prep
I
questions.
didn't get no. That's the whole point.
Oh God, God doggone it. I want to say, God dang it. I've never thought about this. Okay, maybe the bricks because it's where I'm from. So I would
Hmm.
definitely want to see my community portrayed on the big screen. Even though it's kind of like the women of Brewster's Place, but modern.
Hmm.
Um, and I have no idea who I would have play the lead actress and actors. I'm coming up blank.
Hmm.
Stokely and Camille. I don't know.
Hmm.
All I know is
Hmm.
older people. I don't even really know the names of most of these new actors and actresses. But yeah, if I had to send a movie to film, it would be that series.
Hmm. That
Little,
would be cool.
yeah, put it on network or something like that for the culture.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Uh, just don't let Tyler Perry get it, cause then all the women gonna
Girl,
be all upset.
he's the blacklist. Anybody but.
I would let Tyler Perry take mine if he could give me creative direction. Like I appreciate
I
what
ain't
Tyler Perry has brought to the culture. However, you wouldn't be able to do that with me. Like
no.
I need to be able to do my own stuff. But
I
I
admire
appreciate the money.
I definitely admire his hustle, but he not putting his hands on my stuff. It's not.
Yeah,
I think
at
his
all.
writer's room is vacant. He needs to relinquish some control and let some fresh ideas in there because you can tell that he's writing everything because it's the same thing over and over again.
It is
And
the
I
same thing over and over.
he ain't finna mud deal my series.
Girl, it's so strange though how we work so hard as authors, and I can speak for you as well, but that we work so hard to make sure that we giving you something original. Like
Yes,
every book, we think through like, dang, did so and so do that in that book? I don't want them to do it because I don't want it to look too close to this. But the
yes.
people that's actually making the money doing the same thing. Like Tyler
Same.
Perry just do the same play, same characters, same actors, just a
Yes.
different name on a
And
different
don't
show.
care. You can tell he not spending, and not to throw salt on the brother, but he ain't spending no time on the creative aspect. Like
No, he's not.
I'm not even interested. I'm not
Mm-mm.
even interested.
Mm-mm. At
You know,
all. At all.
it's
It's
too
bad. Somebody said the Oval is horrible. I tried to watch the Oval. Like the first show, they was like fighting each
girl.
other real hard, and I
I
was like,
can't.
I ain't got time for all this. Like,
I don't
come
even.
on.
I don't even like the lighting. I was just. I just no. I didn't. I don't
Yeah,
want
I could
it.
watch that. I could. What was the other show? There was like the soap opera, one of the first ones that he did with the mama and the son and the daughter that she ain't like with the
Oh,
white people.
the haves and the have-nots.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, and everybody was going crazy. They still are going crazy about that, and it just didn't. I don't know. I think maybe it's because we're writers. I think it's because we're authors, and we're sitting there probably looking at it like, dang, I could have did this with that, or did that with that, or I know somebody who could have done this with that. You
yeah,
know, we're looking at it
yeah.
objectively instead of just sitting back and enjoying it like regular people, because we're not regular people.
Somebody said I use that Shamar wig as a reference to how
Oh, oh.
chapped someone looks exactly. Because that's a very good reference.
Y'all
Yeah.
messy. Y'all messy.
Yeah. I only watch to support Travis Cure. He handsome, but he can't act. No shade. I'm just saying, like he didn't do
Who was
all that
that you
good.
said?
Travis Cure. He was a book. He was on what's her name's book cover for the Valentine brothers, I think. I can't think of whose cover is he on, guys. Dark skinned guy, but he was on the oval.
Okay.
And he can't act. He
What?
handsome. He can't act though. So
Dang.
okay, so my one of my last questions. So you wrote the Fold series,
Yes, ma'am.
and the Fold series focuses on the main characters are siblings, right?
Yes.
And their grandfather is a pastor, or they dad
Their
is
dad.
how their dad is a pastor.
Yes.
So what made you write that, and where did your inspiration come from?
Um, I'm not a traditional Christian, as in, I wasn't raised going to church every Sunday, Bible study every Wednesday. I was baptized, but that was my godmother's decision. I have never ever gone to church with my mother or father outside of attending a funeral. So my relationship with like church members, or people that are devout Christians, is not the side of them that you necessarily see inside the church. My experience is with how they behave outside of the church, that they are normal, everyday people who sin and fall short. And I wanted to bring that to reality. I don't know if it's, if a story's been told like that. And it's not considered Christian fiction, because all of my stories have a spiritual element, and as far as growth, people growing, but it's not always so religious. And so I just wanted to explore their imperfections. That was the idea that I had going into this series, that I wanted to explore the imperfections of a devoutly Christian family. And
Hmm.
hopefully that's what the readers got from it. Based on reviews, I think that's what readers got from it.
Good. Yeah, I appreciate that because I'm the opposite. So I grew up in church.
Right.
My dad became a Christian when I was about two, after my mother passed, and I really think that he turned to the Lord for solace. I mean, he had lost his wife, and his wife died with a 2-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
So I think that he turned that way. But anyway, so my dad is what you would call an apologetic. Was what you call an apologetic. An apologetic is somebody that defends the faith. Almost, I would almost categorize him so that you can understand it more as almost like a fire and brimstone
Okay.
preacher. So my team's totally different. However, because I was only surrounded by Christians, really, um, I know, like you just said, that Christians are just normal people.
Right.
you
Right.
know, just
They are.
normal people. The teenage rate, pregnancy rate in church was the same as on the street. The
Yeah.
divorce rate is the same, the cheating rate the same, everything.
Because they're
So
all
I
human.
appreciate when an author can bring, the real deal to a series or to a story, because one of the reasons why I think that I started to write was because I tried Christian fiction and I couldn't do it because
Yeah.
I know that Christians are not perfect people, and it was too vanilla for me. Because I know that church, again, Christians love Jesus, but they sin. They fall short. So I appreciate that, and I'm glad that somebody else also has that point of view, and also appreciate the level of growth and spirituality that you can find in your books, because that's really what it's about. It's like, we look for happy endings, but you also want to see the growth in the characters.
Exactly.
You also want to see
Exactly.
the for real resolution to what those characters have experienced or going through. So that's cool. I started reading the first book, and it made me chuckle because of the whole thumb licking thing, and I was like, man, this is so crazy. She's like, don't lick your thumb. That was so funny to me. That was so funny. Just growing up, and even some of the conversations that I had. Once I became older, though, I mean, because I was in church. Once I became old enough to really make my own decisions, I kind of stepped away. But the foundation was already there, and it
Absolutely.
really was it's still just who I am. It's just who I am, but I'm not that person that, carry the Bible under their arm or stand on the
Right.
pulpit and declare it, but I do love God, and that's what
Right.
people have to realize. So I appreciated not being Christian fiction because the Saints
Yeah.
would have taken you down.
Oh yeah. And I the Saints and the Beehive are two groups I do not ever want to tangle with.
Girl, don't come for the Saints because the Saints will get you, girl.
What you
I
not gonna
remember,
do in the name of Jesus?
I remember one lady was like reviewing my book. She was reviewing Blues Beauty, and she gonna say that this child, the pastor's child, said a curse word. Pastor kids don't cuss. I said,
Shoot.
girl, what?
Yes, but if they do.
That's what I wanted to respond like. To say a whole bunch of curse words. Yeah, nah. Yeah, but we don't want to upset the Saints. So
Nah, not ever.
so tell us, we talked about your short series, your short, so that's what's coming next, right?
Yes, yes.
And then what
And
you think you're gonna do after that?
I was recently inspired by a post on Facebook. I don't know if you saw it, the two strangers who met up for a photo shoot and had so
Mhm.
much chemistry that they actually looked like a couple. So I was thinking
Mhm.
about getting into that, and I've actually sketched out some ideas for their characters that go way deeper than the photo shoot. So hopefully I can keep that ball rolling once I finish editing these shorts, and
Mhm.
that will be what is next because I um gotta jump on the inspiration while it's coming because I know that it is fast and fleeing in these times.
Girl, yeah, them characters would be talking, and then they just like, we tired, we
Yeah, I'm
quarantined,
like
like they don't want to talk.
y'all just don't. I'm like one chapter in and y'all done. Like
And
yeah,
they
so
quit. Yeah, they
yeah,
quit.
I'm about.
I started a whole book. I started a whole book and was
God,
just typing. The characters like, girl, we
thought
the
you were
country
gonna
shut
do
down.
something.
We staying in. And they said nothing
They doing a
else. I'm
self
talking about,
quarantine.
yeah, nothing else. So I have another idea. So I'm like, maybe I'll work on this, and it's going okay, but it still is not the same energy, And I
Yeah.
think it's because it's so much has happened in 2020 that
Mm,
has really been huge attention
yes.
distraction. It's really taking your attention from Kobe and his daughter dying. And
Oh
I,
man.
I didn't even understand the impact or why it hurt so bad because I couldn't stand Kobe Bryant in the bigger
Yeah.
scheme of things. But to hear about him dying with his child too, like
It's
it just,
imagining that situation taking place is very heavy to think about. It's very heavy
yeah,
to think
it
about.
is. And then right after him, here comes Corona.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Corona ain't went away. Like everybody in this chat right now could say that they said when summer comes, Corona will be gone.
So girl, Corona then turned into Karina. It then probably morphed
What?
into something else by now. It's
Right.
just been a
It's
crazy.
staying. It ain't doing nothing but getting the suntan. It's staying. It just haven't gone. It ain't
Exactly.
went nowhere. Then we get Corona. Then we start seeing all of these, the police killing all of these
Oh
black
man.
people and all of the protests, and then now you gotta defend yourself, because
Yeah.
you gotta stand on Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Like you can't just let somebody be like, oh no, no, Black Lives
We
Matter.
said black and that's what we meant. Yeah.
Unapologetically.
You ain't yes.
Unapologetically. Yes.
Yes.
So somebody said, how often do you give character updates?
For past characters, who gee, what? You want that too? Um, I don't really have a schedule for doing that, honestly. There's so many moving parts to Sabrina B scales y'all wouldn't even understand. So I'm gonna just keep it real with you. I don't be having time. Like I
Mm-hmm.
need an assistant because I would love to give y'all updates, because I know that lends to the brand and y'all really make connections with these characters like they're real people. And I feel the exact same way. I think about them all the time. But unfortunately, I ain't got no clone, y'all. I
I
can't
know that's right.
can't do it on a regular basis.
I know that's right. I know
Yeah.
that's right. Well, I so appreciate you. So before we go, tell everybody how they can find you, your Facebook, your Instagram, all of that stuff, so they can find you.
All right. Y'all know I'm here on Facebook every day like clockwork because I got a problem. Sabrina B. Scales, my fan page, author Sabrina B. Scales. I have a readers group with some amazingly perverted and funny ladies called The Bricks. Y'all can go visit us over there. Um, you can visit my website, Sabrina B. Scales. And if you would like to receive notifications, you can sign up for my mailing list on there because I do a monthly bricky box, which includes one of my titles and a whole lot of swag. So if you want to subscribe and get first dibs on the bricky box, you can subscribe to our newsletter. Go to brickybox.com for all the details on that. You can check out what other people have already purchased, and that's where I'm at. Oh, and
Yes, you are
Instagram
doing this, sis.
scales.
You doing it, and I appreciate you. I appreciate your voice. I appreciate your humor, and I'm so happy to be one of your contemporaries. I'm glad that we walk in this road together. And
Yes.
thank you for coming out and chatting with me. And thanks everybody for tuning in. And we'll see you next time. Oh, my next guest next week will be Miss Nicole Falls next
Ooh,
Tuesday. So I know
that's gonna be
you
fun.
never know what's gonna come out Nicole's mouth. So
That's
we are looking forward to that. So make sure you guys tune in. So we'll see you next week. Have a good evening. Bye.
Bye, y'all.